Good morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
All right. Thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Having us, Mr. Prabhu, with us this morning. We are so privileged because he have flown away all the way from Australia. Thank you, sir, for your time. We know you have a very tight schedule with all your commitments here and in different countries. All right. Okay. So maybe we would like to just to check if you guys are super awake this morning. All right. We have with us, sir, students from business. Can we see the hand of our business students? All right. You can have it higher again so we know where to direct the questions later on. Just kidding. No. Later on, you can have a chance to have some questions to our guest at the end of the set of questions that we have for this morning. How about the IT students? All right. Okay. And we also have, of course, our creative media students. Yes. And lecturers, of course, we have this morning. All right, sir. Okay, so in line with our topic for today, it's Personal Finance 101 for students. All right. Of course, in Cosmopolitan College, it is always our commitment to prepare and train our students to be able to be ready in the industry. So we know this is one of the skill, and we would like to hear it from you, from your knowledge and expertise in this line, sir. Which leads me to my first question. What is your favorite subject when you were a student in school?
That's a long time ago.
Alright.
Well, a very special subject to me is physics. I did physics and probably chemistry, the two most favorite subjects of mine, which is very useful in life, right? Physics comes to you everywhere in life, whether you're driving a car or playing tennis or playing billiards, everywhere you have physics come in. Whether it helps you in your day-to-day life, it does, but probably you don't realize it. When you're getting down the stairs, you're using physics, right? There's a force is acting on you on every direction, which we never realize at all. And we tend to say physics is difficult, math is difficult, just because we're trying to read it from the books. But it is very useful in life, and we use it unknowingly. So those are my favorite subjects.
Wow. All right. Who loves physics, science? Can I see a hand? Oh, Jalal. Wow, really? Okay.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
So I have a group of people who don't know physics. Right.
All right. I'm sure most of them can relate because I think they like playing billiards here. Who likes to play billiards here? Oh, and pool, snooker, Danish. All right. Yes. Okay. So you can apply it in practical life
Do you
as well.
know how to apply physics in school? You see, when you're playing pool, you aim the ball at different points. That's an action of physics. So when you bang the ball on one direction, it moves up in another. So every action has an equal but opposite reaction. That's the simple fact, right? So when you hit that, this ball, the cue ball moves this way, and your colored ball moves this way, right? So that's simple physics. Or when you're steering your car, right? You steer too fast, what happens to the back of the car? You circle around, and that's because of the momentum moving in different directions. Anyway, I don't bore you with this.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll try that on our next pool or snooker, or when the next time we drive later. We'll try that. Thank you, sir. All right. The next question is, when you were young, sir, I know that you have already mentioned that you were into physics, into science. What was your dream when you were young, sir?
uh, my life was an interesting life. I wanted to be an engineer, but never got to being one. And when I left, or I did my graduation in sciences, I realized that I'm not going to be a good engineer. So I got into something totally different, and I was the creative media students would probably be surprised. I got into drama and theater, and I was a designer for drama, stage, and props, those kind of things. And I was making a good living with that, and I would probably have stayed in that if not for my parents, right? So that's where I started. But what I dreamt to become subsequently was I wanted to see my face on the Business Today, it's a magazine in India, on the Business Today magazine by the age of 40. Well, I didn't get to do that because I left India. But that was my dream, and that's what drove me towards business, or to run business, or get into business. It doesn't mean I started the business straight away, but that's where I started, the foundation. So yeah, that was my dream.
That was what age, sir, at that time that you were thinking
Uh, that
roughly?
that ambition started probably when I was 20 or 21, when I was in university. So though I was doing a science degree, I knew that what I was studying is not what I really want to do. So as students, we tend to make choices along the way. We think, for example, we think business studies is good for us, or we think creative media is good for us. I, for one, thought I would be very good at computer programming. And today I do talk to people in IT industry as well. I can give them the logic. I have graduated in systems management. But when I was doing the subject, I realized I cannot sit in one place and do coding. That doesn't mean that I left my degree and discontinued. I continue to do the degree and complete it. Today it helps me a lot when I talk to IT people. I focus on finance, but I can actually run IT projects with these days. And that's because I did not discontinue my degree, and I made sure that I completed. And subsequently, I went ahead and qualified myself in business studies. So, as young people, sometimes the choices we make may not be the right one. There's no harm about it. May not be the right one. But find your purpose. And when you find your purpose, make sure you arm yourself with those skills. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think many of our students this morning can relate to it because some of them might think, oh, creative media, I will only look at my laptop and start designing. It is also very important. We keep telling you guys, you have to have good presentation skills. You have to have good communication skills, negotiation. So you have to be able to communicate with the people around you. We would like you to speak more on that, sir. How our students can be able to use that more practically as a student, not just being stuck in the course that they are currently doing, that they can explore other possibilities that they can learn outside their course.
It's a very interesting question because I was a very reserved person, and there are people in this room who will agree with that, right? If I'm sitting here today and talking in front of you, I'm actually pushing myself. I am, even at my age, I'm 52 years, I'm still pushing myself to be sitting in front of you guys. I'm always a person in the background. Even at board meetings, I'm at the background, right? But you need to push yourself to come where you are and or to achieve something. And in order to be able to do that, one has to have certain skills. And not everybody has every skill. You must first realize that. Once you know what you are afraid or scared or tense about doing, then you work on those skills. So for some people, it's very easy to walk up to somebody and say, "Hi, hello, I'm so and so." There are others who are, let me try. That those people have to learn to work on their skills. So communication, presentation. There is a saying that says, "The way in which you present yourself half tells what you want to say." Right? Let's say you're going for a job interview and you go shabbily dressed, if you don't present yourself well, it's going to put the person off straight away. So the way you present yourself, you're half telling yourself, and you'll probably get that job. It's a very important skill, especially for people who are going into the job world, right? So most students none of the students start off by starting a company. There are, not to say no, there are people who do that, but most of you all get into a job, and part of the important skills for that is presentation and clear communication. Communication is also very important. Now, you don't expect people to know everything in every skill, but you've got to acquire it as you go. And an open mind, meaning a willing, learning mind to take the skills on. That's another skill that I think. Don't say no or I can't do it. Always think, how can you do it? If you go into that mindset, you'll find a solution and you don't think it's a problem.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys, you heard it. Be open. All right, learn as much as you can. All right, sir. Also, I would like you to say hi to our viewers. There are also some
Hi.
students joining from the Philippines. We are live.
Oh,
They can also have a look at it later on. So you guys can also say hi. We have students joining from the Philippines who, yes, hi guys. All right. So also they can also view it later on after the live. All right, sir. That leads me to my next question, sir. How did you shift into finance?
that's yeah. So
Science.
as you all heard, I was very interested in sciences, and I graduated myself in statistics. So my undergrad degree was in statistics, which is a lot of numbers, and there are situations where we have proved 0 is equal to 1. Literally, you can do that in statistics. And with no much of interest in that subject and doing other things, I landed up in Southeast Asia trying to help somebody in investment banking. It was a pure referral job. I did not go attend an interview. I did not go and search for a job. A friend referred me to another friend who wanted help. So don't just think jobs are on paper ads or it's through the website. Even a person can help you get a job. So I ended up getting a job with somebody and helping them in their investment. And this person was a political person, and he had tons of money invested in various stock markets, and I had absolutely zero experience trying to help him. So along the way, I researched, I learned, and I didn't have all these modern day Google and YouTube or online learning. I had to equip myself with books, through books. And then I found my passion. I said, yes, this is where I want to be. And after 5 or 6 years, probably 7 years, I went on to do my master's in business. And while working, I did my master's in business. So the jump from science to finance was almost by default. I had to equip myself because I found that this is the area I want to work in. And from there on, it has been a very comfortable ride. It has had downs, but you learn to live with that. So that's when I made the jump into finance.
Wow. So what I'm getting here is you have good networking skills, sir, because through your friends they have referred you to that project and it went on.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing you say. Uh, when I was doing my masters, I had a very good network, and part of the network is what got me into Baiduri. So since 1997, I have remained a consultant with Baiduri. That's now 25 odd years. And despite me having moved overseas, they still retain me as a consultant. Entry was due to network, or who I knew and how I got to know them. And the longevity or the length of my stay with them is simply because of how hard or how good I contribute to the job. So commitment is another thing when you get into a job. Whether you like the job or not, you need to commit yourself and learn what you can where you are. That's going to help you in your next job or next assignment or whatever that is.
Yes, sir. So, two things: commitment and network, right? Creative media, you don't just mingle with your creative media friends. Be out, join the music club. Okay, it's time for me to promote the ECA clubs today. Join. We have esports. We have so many cooking club, right? Explore and meet new friends. Don't just be inside the class and do your assignments. I know that's highly important, but of course, you have to have friends outside the class as well with other levels. All right. Okay. Right, sir. With us this morning are our students. I know they are very keen to know as well how they can start in their own personal capacity, saving. Of course, they are students. How can they start at this age, or what is the step that they should take towards their personal finance?
Personal finance is, as it says, it's very personal to each person. I have a yardstick when I employ people, and I'm going to ask that question. How many of you have your wallet here today? Right. And how many of you know how much of money is in it to the cent? Hands up, please. Hands up.
Anish, Asif,
Yeah,
Ashif.
lecturers included.
I don't have wallet with me. And I don't know
So,
how much.
the reason behind asking that question means you have a good handle on how much of money you have and how much you can spend. The first part of saving is actually having a control over your money, right? And saving is never going to get you rich. Forget it. Saving is never going to get you rich. However, if you don't save money, you cannot get there. Now, this is a very twisty sentence, but let me explain that further. You save your money first in order to invest and make that money make more money for you. That's how it works. And that's why I say saving will never get you rich. Now, it's not about being rich or wealthy. It's about how you live a comfortable life. Now, if you ask me, probably for me, $5,000-6,000 is good enough a month. I don't need more. But if you compare somebody else, they will want $10,000. Why? It's because of wants and needs. As younger people, discipline in saving is very important. So, give you a practical example. Some people in this room know this story as well. When I started working, right? I get my salary. I was an employee. I get my salary. The first thing I do is put my saving away. That is the first discipline in terms of saving. You don't spend and then save. Right? So let's say you get $1,000 as your salary. You decide what you want to put away as a saving. And make sure that you do it in a disciplined manner. When you do that, you start creating a fund. And once that fund is created, whether it is for your, right, How many of you want to go on a holiday next year?
Holiday. All right. Of
Almost
course, you all want to go for holiday.
Everybody wants to go for a holiday, right?
Much needed holiday.
Where are you going to get the money for that holiday? From your parents? Right. Now, that brings me back to another life experience. I paid for my university fees through my own labor. Through my own labor. It might not have been as much as you guys pay now, but it was big money then. I used to work at a motorcycle shop, helping the mechanic to earn my money. And why? I had a determination that I didn't want to take money from my father to pay for my fees. That is all. It might look stupid. My dad could have afforded to pay that money, but what it taught me was independence and self-reliance. Right? So, from there it starts. So, if you want to go for the holiday too, you can, from your pocket money or whatever, right, you put away a certain sum of money. Start young. Start young. That's the key to fame. You have to go start young and be disciplined.
Wow. All right. So it's discipline.
And start as early as you can.
Yes. So it can be, you guys are 18, 19, right? Am I correct? 18, 19. All right. 20. All right. Okay. So, in line with what you have just mentioned, sir, in their age, of course, they are just relying on parents' pocket money. How can they start from there?
Okay. I will draw back from my own life again. I too did get pocket money from my father to spend, for other things. A lot of stories around that. Let's cut it short. Equivalent of probably, I don't know, $500 I got, right? Not $500, probably $100 odd equivalent in those days, and that was only 10 rupees in India, right? It was only 10 rupees. At that stage too, I made sure that I put some money away first, and then I spent. The next thing is, if I had, this was learned from my parents, my father instilled this in me, and I'm very thankful to him for that. The reason is, if I wanted the next month's pocket money, I had to write an account of what I spent, how much I spent, and send it back to him. And those days there's no email, message, WhatsApp, nothing. You have to write a letter. So if I wanted the money, I had to write a letter to him along with the account of what I spent. And only then he would give me the next month's pocket money. So it was not that he was strict. He was putting the discipline of accounting in me, saying, this is your money, where did you spend it? Make sure you know where you spent it. He had no problems of me, whether I smoked or what I did with the money, he didn't say anything. Right? But he said, even if you bought a cigarette, you got to write it down. And all that it did was teach me that value of money and where I put my money. So, again, it all circles back to discipline of what you do with your money.
So from today, we have to start listing all the things that we spend. Sometimes we don't realize, right? So,
Exactly.
all right, guys, let's start today. List down everything that you buy, like, okay, one lemon tea, one corn toast, or whatever is that. Yes, roti telur or whatever you buy. So at least you know, where did my money went, huh? All right.
Exactly. It's not about what you spent it on. It's at least you've got to know, okay, I spent it on food, I spent it on cosmetics, I spent it on clothes. You know where you spent your money. And a follow on from there is, are you buying what you need or are you just buying what you want? The moment you start cutting off what you want, you will see that your savings grow.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, with this skill, sir, for example, today they start listing down the things that they spend. How this skill can be useful for them. 1, 2 years from now, they will be starting to work, their internship, their WSP. How can this skill be useful for them when they start working or starting their own business?
So the topic here today is about personal finance, right? And we are talking about how they can either save money or make money work for them and so on. So this discipline is specifically for personal use. It's not. It doesn't. It has an impact on working life because remember this: if you are always short of money, you get your salary within the 15th or 20th of the month. You spend all your money, and then you're going to work for the next 2 weeks, and you are always worried about how to buy this, how to buy that. You're not going to be able to concentrate on your job, right? Therefore, this discipline is going to help you in the job in the initial stages. As long as you are comfortable, you can give your full 100% to the job and grow in that job. Now, it has an indirect impact on your employment, especially for students who are doing business. Some of you might end up in the finance department, or you have to do analyticals with financial numbers and so on. And if you have a habit of recording these things, it's easy for those people at their work. There is most of the accountants who join me know this. I will not approve a bill or I will not pay a bill until I see the physical bill. Mr. Daniel here can vouch for that, right? So what does that teach you? It looks very stringent to them, but what does it actually do? It means you are methodical and disciplined so that you record exactly what you're giving where. Now, where did that come from? From your personal habit. It's a personal habit, right? When you have your own money and you're recording, it's a personal habit. So that just flows on into the job and you're able to continue easily. Now, for students who are not doing business, who are in IT or creative media, you might think, oh, I'm not going to do accounting. It helps you personally, but when you have the savings, you can actually think of starting your own company. Let's say you have a sizable saving, you walk into a bank and say, hey, this is my idea, this is what I'm going to do, I can afford to put this one as a deposit, give me a loan, I'm going to start a business. Now, if you're not disciplined enough to do that, you will never get that foundation to grow up. Yes? Now, I sit here in front of you today and I've got my hands in different businesses. Some of them, quite large businesses. And all of that started by my seed capital from my savings. Including this place. Right? So, it is not possible. Here I am sitting in front of you as an example. I didn't go to a bank to start a business. But along the way, yes, we went to the bank. So once you're comfortable with that, creative media people today, the world is the market for you guys, not Brunei. Right? And if you have a concept or something that you want to really kick off, this will really help you. There's a saying in business, find your idea first, the money will come. You will find the money. Right? So that's how you get into business.
Wow, that's very inspiring. Thank you, sir. All right, so what I'm getting here is habits, right?
Yes.
If you are used to it, it will not be difficult for you to do it because you are used to doing it daily.
Daily.
Right? It can be into saving, it can be physical exercise, reading a book, or doing your assignments little by little every day. I know I always go to assignment writing. All right? Or helping your mom do the house chores. It can be anything. If you are used to do it habitually every day, then it's not too difficult for you.
So, the valid point there is personal finance is a habit. It's not a task. It's a habit. It's like every morning you get and brush your teeth. It's a habit now. Or night before you go to bed, you brush your teeth. It's a habit. Managing your personal finance should be a habit and not a task.
Habit means part of your life.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Before we move to the next question, I would like to ask, is there any question from the audience? All right.
Yeah, go
Yes.
on.
If our course is diploma in IT, what are the job opportunities we can apply related to finance?
It's a very,
Thank you.
very relevant question in today's world. IT is not just about technology, right? When it comes, I don't know how much of you have heard about financial technology. Have you heard of financial technology? In short, it's called fintech. Today's banking finance industry is not the same traditional industry. It is all based on IT platform. Yes, you may still see a teller sitting in front and giving you money or collecting money, but let me tell you this, I don't do any more direct banking outside Brunei. Anywhere in the world, it is all on technology. So, IT students, I don't know what specific subjects you're doing, but since I have done part of my studies in IT, I tell you this, you need to get into platform or skill yourself in applications that are specific to the finance industry. For example, core banking systems, sales systems. There are sales systems, onboarding systems, derivatives and forex market systems. Now, you cannot do that at the age of 18, but you can start small and then build your skills and capacities in those platforms. So it doesn't mean if you're doing IT, you don't have a job in finance. It's not that you have to just be a IT technician or you just have to join a coding company or a technology company, for example. Even if you join a technology company, you will end up working for a business if you want to be in the finance industry, right? So if you're in the finance industry, you will need to know about finance. So just because you are doing IT, don't forget the business subject, and they will come handy to you sometimes. And part of my success has been that I equipped myself with IT, not knowing what I want to do with it. I did it, but then I went and equipped myself with business. So now I'm able to relate those two together, right? I was involved in a project which actually implemented the core banking system for BI side, right? Now, yes, I have finance industry. If I didn't have the IT background, I could not have run that project. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What's your name again? Adwa. Thank you, Adwa. I hope that answer your question. Shall we have another one? All right. Najwa. All right.
The mic is here.
You want to?
No, the mic is here.
The mic. They have another mic. Okay. What's your name? What's your
Hello,
name?
my name is Niza.
Niza.
I'm a level 3 IT student.
Yes.
I would like to know, is there a way on how to make personal finance fun for students?
Is there a way for personal finance to be fun? Is it for students?
Yeah.
For students,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have been advocating this concept with the banks in Brunei for a long time, but due to regulatory issues, we are not able to bring this out in Brunei. but Bank Nagara is Brunei Bank is trying, Central Bank is trying to work on that. If you look at developed nations, right? Not that Brunei is not developed, slightly big, better nations. They start with kids as young as 6 years old. So we get them to open bank accounts, and this has two effects. All right, I as a banker, I go walk into a school, I offer the kids to have a bank account, and what they get in terms of ampao here or some gift they tend to put a little bit into that. And how we make it fun for them is they have competitions for those people. The bank actually runs these competitions. Now, unfortunately, in Brunei, we can't do this outside the financial system because we are regulated very highly. I mean, schools run such programs to inculcate or to develop the saving habit of children. Now, imagine this as a banker. If I catch you at the age of 6, are you going to leave my bank? Never. You will stay with me for the lifetime. That's how it helps the bank. How we make it fun? There are fun ways of teaching finance, right? But the discipline comes from encouraging kids to save. So this is what I do with my son, right? He also gets ampao and all the things that he saves. Now he wants to buy, let's say, what do you call that? PS something here, yeah, or whatever that is. So I say, okay, I can buy for you, but make sure you save 50% of that money first. Now, when he saves that 50%, I still go and pay the 100% for it. I don't make him pay. But what happens then? He knows, okay, if I reach the target, I will get it. So a few times I've done that, then he gets slack. He doesn't want to save anymore because he knows he's getting it every time. The third time I say, no, you pay 50%. So it's about discipline and building them. So you make it a little bit more attractive for them to save and be disciplined.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Niza, right? All right. Hope that answered your question. All right. We'll have our final question, then we'll open the floor again for Q&A. Would you like to ask now? Okay, sure. All right. He's excited to ask. Okay, sure.
I'm from Marsden from IT level 3, and my question is, as a student and someone who don't have any sources of income, what are the things that we can do which can help us to be good in personal finance?
Thank you.
You don't have income. Well, I will disagree with that. Right? The pocket money that your dad gives you is your income. Right? It may not be your money. It may not be earned by you, but he has given you that money. Right? So that is your income. First, remember that everything that you get into your pocket is your income. That is personally, yeah. Not that money that goes into the company. Your company is not your money. They are two different things. If you are, like for example, you pay the fee into the college, Daniel cannot say that it's his money. However, he gets paid, that's his money. Now your father gives you money, that's your income. From that income is where you take into your savings and all that. Now, let us assume that you have no income at all. What's stopping you from making money? Have you thought about it? I just gave you an example, right? In the uni, nobody asked me to go and work anyway. I just went and worked in that shop and I made some money to pay my own. Nothing is stopping you. Anybody over 16, you are legally able to work. You're legally. So what will stop you from earning money is only your mindset. I'm not going to call you lazy, but I'm going to say your mindset. It doesn't mean that if you're not going to work now, you're lazy. It's just that you have not thought about it or explored different ways of making money. Having said that, let me put this up. Life is not all about money. right? You need it, but it's not all about money.
Thank you, sir.
Does it answer your question?
Okay. Okay. This leads me to promote our lakastahkecosmo website. You can have freelance jobs. Later on, I'll ask the lecturer to talk more about it. So you can earn extra from that, okay? We have just launched it last month. All right. Okay. So let's have the final question for today before we open the floor once again. We can have your question after this. All right. If you could go back to your 18-year-old self, which most of them can relate, most of us can relate because most of us are 18 here, right? Okay. They are protesting. All right. What one piece of advice will you give yourself?
I just said that it's not all about money, right? But at this age or the age of 18 and up, focus tends to be on money or what am I going to do in life? How am I going to work? What am I going to earn? Can I afford to buy a house? Can I, afford to buy a car and all this? So the focus is more about earning. If I want to change something that I did or at my age of 18 when I go back, having told all this about saving early and all that, I must admit I didn't start that early, and that's why I'm advocating start early. I only started investing when I was 30 years old. So until such time, I was depending on my salary.
30 years old, sir.
30.
30. So it's never late, guys. You
Right.
guys are so young.
If you start early, you can retire early. I promise you can retire early. When I mean retirement, I don't mean just simply sit at home. You can still do something useful, but you can have your money working for you. That's the ultimate goal. You don't want to be working till you're 70, 60, 70 years old. If you retire early with the money working for you, you can do other things in life. You can do all the travel you want, learn a new language, see a new country, do what you want. So yeah, I would have started earlier.
Thank you, sir. I like that. Let your money work for you. All right? Okay, let's have two more questions from the audience. All right. Can we have the mic on that side? What's your name? Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Nadia.
Nadia.
And I'm interested to be a banker. What are the skills or knowledge that we should have to prepare ourselves for the job?
Right? That's a
Nadia.
question directed to the banker directly. I love that.
Thanks, Nadia.
As I was explaining earlier, banking is never going to be the same as it is today, right? Or even in the next 2 years, it's going to be totally different, and you need to prepare yourself for that. The basic knowledge of banking is required, which most likely you will be gathering as you graduate. So, like accounting principles, or say even sales is important in banking, right? Because you may end up selling products and services, therefore it's important. So those skills you will still gather. But if you want to make it big in banking, big in the sense really be good at it, you really need to do IT. You have to learn IT. And when I say IT, not programming, but you have to get to learn the product. In the future, those products are, because the moment you know the product, you don't need to stand for an interview. They will pick you up just like that. So the whole world is moving all towards IT based. Whether you're a manager, now if Daniel doesn't know to use Microsoft Office, would I have employed him? No way, right? Now today, Microsoft Office is a basic. It's like learning English or maths or something like that. If you don't know that, you can't get anywhere. So similarly, banking is heading towards that side. It's going to be more IT, and you cannot say I won't learn that application or I don't need that application. It has been easier for people like us because I actually went from traditional accounting into system-based accounting. So therefore you still need that debit, credit, whatever, you need all that. But you need to be able to do it on the computer. So in short, I would say look for banking applications. It's not easy, but at least know what those applications are first, so that when you go, there are a lot of there is on the YouTube, there are a lot of channels which offer these applications. So even if you just pick them up and you don't have to learn it, you at least look through that video, you will know what that system does. And when you get into that job, that's going to help you a lot, right? And when they do the training on that application, oh yeah, I know this, I know how to do this because I've seen it there. So equip yourself with financial technology products, and that's key to getting into banking.
Thank you, sir. Hope that answered your question, Nadia. Alright, so guys, be open, explore the things around you. Alright, sir, before we would like to ask for your final advice for our students this morning, can we have one last question from the audience? Anyone? Tasnim, yes. Can we have the mic for Tasnim? Alright. Finally, a business student. I was waiting for a business student to ask. Tasnim, alright. Nadia, was the mic? Alright, there. Oh, she will ask. Can I have your name, please?
Hello, my name is Naili Patricia.
Naili.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm from level 3 business, and my question is how to be motivated in keeping track of a budget and stick to the budget.
Keep track of your budget.
How to be motivated in keeping track of a budget and stick to the budget. Thank you.
I think that question is very relevant to Daniel as well.
Alright, okay. Would you like to answer it? No, just kidding.
So, first may I understand, why do you have a budget? You say you want to be motivated to keep a budget, right? What is your purpose behind that? Okay. So you have a goal in mind. That in itself is your motivation. So what you need to do is, if you say, I want to start a business and I need $100,000, let's say $10,000, right? So you budget, let's say you're earning $2,000 and you need to reach that $10,000. So what will you do when you budget? You will say, okay, I must put away this amount of money every month. The motivation for you is coming from that goal. It depends on how strong that the motivation will be strong depending on that goal. If you set your goal very high, you will lose your motivation very quickly. Go in small incremental steps. If you set that goal very high, you will get disappointed and you will fail. 100% guarantee. So first don't go to 10,000, look at 5,000. How soon you want to reach that goal. And keep it realistic. Realistic and achievable goals. What do they call that, Daniel? SMART goals. Yeah, so if you do that, there is no need for anybody to motivate you. That goal itself will motivate you. Right?
Thank you, sir. So you have to be smart in setting your goals and be, of course, realistic. That is one of the components of the SMART goal. Alright, sir. We are now down to the final advice that you would like to share to our students as we end for this morning session. Tasnim. Oh, Tasnim. Okay, alright. Sorry. I didn't see you raising your hand. Can we have the mic? Alright. Yes, Tasnim.
If we are not good with numbers, is there any easy way to manage personal finance?
If you are?
If we are not good with
if they are not good with numbers.
Okay, you're not good with numbers. I don't agree. Can you count 1 to 10?
Oh my.
You're good.
Come on, Tasnim. 1 to 10.
Okay. It is the method in which you maintain it. That's all. And as I told you, today there are so many tools, right? All you got to, you're an IT student or a business student?
Business student.
Okay, fine. I have people who are leading businesses who are not good with numbers as well, right? And if I put a paper in front of them, they probably fall asleep, but they actually run the business for me, right? So you don't, first of all, remove the thought I'm not good with numbers. Now, how to monitor? Simple fact for personal finance: just go into your Excel, the application, and look for personal financial tracker. That's it. Everything is done there. You've got a format, you've got everything ready there. All you need to do is put your budget, and every time you spend, you record it there. So what more do you need? You know to write 1 to 10. You can count to 100. All you need to do is type the numbers in, and it calculates everything for you. And this is what I was saying about banking. We really don't need the calculator today. Everything is done. What we need is how do we use it? The knowledge, how do we use it? That's all we need.
Okay, Tasneem. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're down to the final advice, sir, before we end today's session. Any final advice you would like to? Yes, Daniel? You want to say something? You want to ask? Well, we have overflowing questions this morning. Okay, can we give
That's
the
good.
mic to Daniel? All right. You are the one giving advice. No, just kidding. Good. You guys are, I can see that you guys are very interested with the topic today. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hello. What do you think of students who started doing forex? Is that a reliable source of income? Thank you.
So that's doing
Sorry,
what?
Daniel, what's that?
What do you think of students who started doing forex trading?
Forex trading. Thank you.
Very good subject. Falling off his chair there. First of all, I think I need to highlight something to you guys. There's something called risk, right? There is a risk in everything you do. You walk down the stairs, there's a risk. There's a risk of you falling off. So everything you do, there is a risk. Forex trading is very, very, very high risk. Individual or retail forex traders, there's no history of individual retail traders making money. Right? So if I were you at your age, I wouldn't even look at it. Now, unless you're somebody who's ready to, gamble your money away, go ahead, try. But 99% I'll say you lose that money. The simple fact is this: forex trading works on volume, right? There are people all over the world who deal with millions of dollars. I know fund managers who manage over $100 million. Single guy managing $100 million, right? Now imagine you're trading. Do you all understand about forex? So you're actually selling and buying, right? You're selling one currency and buying another currency. Now imagine you're putting $1,000 and the currency moves by 10 cents. How much of money would you make? $10, right? Or $10, something like that. The same other guy investing $10 million. How much will he make? He would probably make $100,000, right? See the difference there. But take the reverse. You lose $1, 10%. How much do you lose? Your money comes down to $900. That fellow, even if he loses the 10%, he will make it up by the volume of investment. So, as a retail investor, I would not advise you to do it. Right? That's my personal standpoint. I have tried it personally. I am still in forex trading, but through fund managers, not myself. When I did it myself, I have lost heavily. Right? So, again, it all comes down to how much of risk you're willing to take. If you have tons of money and you're willing to throw away, fine, right? But it's still not I don't think is the right investment instrument for people of your age. You should be there is a concept in investment which is called I don't know, this is very theoretical, it's called Maslow's theory of hierarchy, needs hierarchy, and you go by food, shelter, and then other things. So at your age you must be looking at that hierarchy first. While looking at that hierarchy, you must be looking at saving. That will help you in the future. That answered your question? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So start with saving. Thank you. I know there might be other questions in the audience, but please reserve it. Due to time constraint, we have to move to the next agenda, which is our final advice from Mr. Prabhu. Yes, we are still on track. Right, sir. We would like to hear it from you, sir.
First of all, he keeps saying advice. I don't like the word advice. I don't, even to my son, I don't advise. I just say, this is my view, you think about it. If you actually do that thinking for yourself, you will make an effort to achieve it. Right? What I can suggest or what I can say to you guys is, life is not easy. I know Brunei is gifted, but how long? How far? So, all the same, I'm not trying to say it's very difficult. But if you have your goals, discipline, and ambition set, and you work towards it regularly, you will get there. The worst part is laziness, or not willing to work, or not willing to do something yourself. If you put even half the effort of what you do in other things, you will reach somewhere. Not taking an effort is probably, there's a saying, leave no stone unturned. I try. If it doesn't hurt you, try. And you win some, you lose some, but without trying, you never get anywhere. So, if that is what you want to do, try it. And if it is so important to you, you will achieve it. If you give it up half the way, that means it's not important to you. And therefore, that's why you don't achieve it.
Wow. Thank you, sir. So, the suggestion is have a goal and be disciplined. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for having you today, having you this morning. It's such a wonderful time for all of us. We all have learned a lot. It's a very fruitful Wednesday. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.